We need to get Marika's Scar Seal. That's in the Enzel River. Or Shifa River, one of them. I think maybe the Shifa. Ooh, that was a bit risky. Up to you. You can keep it or throw it away. Okay. Ooh, lagging. Huh? Luggage? I want luggage? Oh. Everyone's just doing their quest today. What'd you say? Okay. Mother fucking pigs. That one? I'll get some more work done after I get the the Scar Seal. Ooh, you think? Not only is he twinking, he's also lagging. Whoa. We need to get to a safer spot to duel. A lightning. Bit dangerous to fight that here. wrong fucking thing. Oh my god, the dragonfly man. What's he gonna use now? Oh, Twin Blade, okay. Twin Blade versus Twin Blade. I think Blade wins, wins the lightning trade. I win. I win versus the Twin. He's like, wait, this guy isn't just some noob. He's got 5,000 hours in Elden Ring. Watch me get obliterated by the PvE after I say something that cool. Oh fuck. Ah! Almost. Oh, I should actually go as fast as I can because there's nobody here. I can use the portal finally. Yeah. Alright. We got the Marquez Scar Seal. Got it in the bag. That's where you can get the Dragon Halberd, by the way. Lots of invaders seem to like it because it's an easy weapon to use. If oh, I just realized I didn't have the Conqueror's Tongue on. But it's fine. I was gonna AFK here anyway, get some work done. But yeah, it's a really easy weapon to use. if the people you're invading are horrible at the game, or if it's just new. The good Noob Slayer 5000. Symmetry's off. I wonder if we can mask by color and then it's like group loops. That might be a little bit. Nah. Never mind. Hmm. How am I gonna do the nipple? I guess I could go. That could be like something that's over, like a cap or something. Let's just remesh it again. Hopefully we get some even geometry. Good enough, I guess. It's a bit not ideal. Right, asymmetrical. Do we get better results on this side? It's fine. It's fine, it's just the high poly. I wonder if this should actually be like a metal object, or should it just be paint? Probably metal object. Ew. No, that. So enable smooth groups, because that's kind of messing things up. Okay, what's going on? Maybe we shouldn't have stitched. We need turn off welding tolerance. This should work. It's better. We do legacy. And again. Maybe we just do this side. Okay, that's it's alright, I guess. It's alright. definitely need something. I need some surface detail because it looks very like too smooth. Let's finish up the rest of the plates here. Do I need the Great Jar Arsenal in this book? I should probably get it because I'm here. Hey, Rusty. You like Pierce nipples? Who doesn't like Pierce nipples? I'm sure somebody out there doesn't. Let's go grab the rest of the stuff down here that I might need. And then... yeah, what's next? I guess we're done. They didn't put anything behind this. Nah. Waterfall loot is a lost art form. No game developer puts loot behind waterfalls or staircases anymore. There's only that one waterfall in the DLC where they put something in a small cave. Did I come here yet? I have it. I don't really try. I don't really do image generation stuff anymore. I've already decided that it's kind of useless for me. Until image generation actually... until AI Gen can start authoring like 3D models with the versatility of like a 3D modeler, it's kind of just like a interesting gimmick. Still fun. Do I have enough stone sword keys for this? I have 2. Just enough. We will do battle up here, Joe. We'll do great battle up here. I think it's gonna do like the follow-up. I keep expecting the follow-up. Ah, so close. Oh, what the heck? He got a headshot on me? Beginner's luck, Joe. Who tried parrying that? You see what I mean? If you're a hunter, if you're a hunter, you always come late. Either the host is dead or the invader's dead. What's with the bitrate? It's so blurry. I don't know. I don't know why it's so blurry. Why would I care? I'm not a professional streamer. I just realized my mic is like way over here, so nobody can actually hear me. Is that better? Can people even invade in this area? That's what I want to know. I don't know if I can actually come down here. Maybe they can. I think I've been summoned here as a hunter before, so presumably they can. Which would be scary. Just a wee bit scary. Or I should equip a shield for this section. It's easier to ride past here on Torrent. I can't use Torrent due to the challenge limitations. It's better now. Good to hear it. Oh shit. Yeah, maybe I should use the shield. That was just me guarding with the healer. If I had like a 100% physical block shield with some decent magic resist, probably be pretty good here. Hopefully, I just have to do this run once. But maybe I might have to do it a couple times, depending on my luck. I'm just gonna try to run. I'm gonna try to roll through it. Oh, skills. Oh, people can invade here. That's crazy. Invaded by Fat Man. Can I still do this? Like, can I still talk to him if I'm invaded? Oh, I can't. I might have to turn off invasions just for this. But we'll see. Well, hunters can come down here, I guess. This is gonna be an interesting place to fight with the golem arrows raining in. We'll bow, because they're civilized. Get hit by the arrow. Oh, that's an explosion. He has enough poise to outtrade me. That's not good. What about jumping attacks? You can't outpoise that. Oh, I almost got the grab. Yeah, it's kind of hard to raid with this. He's so fat. Yeah, man. This is kind of rough. I might need to switch to a different weapon, which is crazy. Okay, let's go see what else we can switch to. I don't know, man. I'll just use Ant Spear Rapier, I guess. Because I don't have anything else. You need something faster for sure. I don't have anything better. Oh fuck, look at that phantom range. That's insane. Oh, I walked right into that. Yeah, normally I would have a crossbow for this. Crossbow with bleed bolts, if they can out poise me. It's been good. He never does like the follow-up. Interesting. Okay, hold on. Let's go switch back to the... I'm not getting the rock proc on this. I just have to catch him when he's not hitting me. Like when he misses, that's when I go in. I have 5 left. Yeah, what to do against a poise monster? What the fuck was that? He hits the ground next to me and I get hit. Come on. Don't have any more tricks up my sleeve, unfortunately. Yeah, you just have to do turn and burns, I guess. I have to be very, very smart about this. He's really relying on that extra poise to out trade. Heal again. Oh, Stormhawk Axe. Oh, it's fat rolling though. Now my chance. Oh, I took off his helmet and his armor. Okay. Interesting. Gonna go back to the old reliable. Oh, what the fuck? Fucking phantom range again. He's winning these trades. This is really rough. Okay, I gotta switch up my tactics a bit here. Yeah. Definitely gotta switch up these tactics. What? We both missed? How? What the fuck? How are you? That should have hit me. I don't know how that didn't hit me. Is he out of flasks? I think he's out of flasks. Jesus Christ, dude. Poise monster for the win. I only won because I out-healed him. Jesus Christ. That's the only reason why I won. Because I'm host and I have extra flasks. Can I talk to this guy now? Finally. Okay. So, let's go pick the melee users. And then we'll just cheese them. Hey Rashid, how's it going? Might as well get a flask up. But yeah, these are NPC invaders, so oh fuck the lava. Forgot about that. Oh well. Lava doesn't do a whole lot of damage. I thought I was gonna do more than that. What is this? Another melee user. Good. Hopefully all three are melee. Hopefully we don't get a mage. Because mages kind of fuck this strategy up. Yeah, I need a weapon for poise monsters. I don't really have a solution for that yet, other than just out healing, which is honestly a pretty cheesy thing to do. Okay, next one. Just one more. Uno mas. Oh, good. We got 3 melees. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to need to go... Yeah, we'll kill Radahn, we'll kill Mohg. I don't actually need to kill Mohg for the bleed bolts, but I just need to... That's terrifying. If that hits me, I'm probably dead. Oh my god. Hopefully that doesn't hit me. I'm hoping that... yeah, good. Okay, the hitbox isn't big enough. So yeah. I was worried, like, the size of the hammer, right, seems pretty fucking big. I didn't refill my flasks yet, unfortunately. But we have the Great Jar's Arsenal, which is a good thing to have. Maybe I should just block this. Take the guaranteed damage for, like, a not guaranteed. Ah, shit. I fucking knew I should have guarded that. Ah. Oh well, we'll just do the run back. There's no tell for them, for the arrow. You just have to time it. They don't have any animation tell when they're releasing the arrow. But yeah, let's go get our souls back. I need them because it would be nice to get a few points in faith for bestial vitality. Do I have a shield? I do. I'm just like guard this shit, I guess. That's not a fat roll. Yeah. I'll take the damage. It's like nothing. I have regen. Oh, fuck. From behind. I'll try to roll this. Just for the lulz. Get rolled. Get rolled, bitch. Oh shit, we got invaded. I should probably get my weapon on just so I don't get caught. What the fuck? Okay. Alright. Oh, they did disconnected, I guess. They didn't connect. Ah! Oh, you know, I should get that shield. That shield up there is very good for NPC fights. This one here. Spike Palisade. We're gonna switch back to ZBrush once I get to the bonfire here. Oh, fuck you. Oh, why did that do so much damage? Is that a headshot or something? Maybe it was a headshot when I was in mid-jump. Those are both damage multipliers. What is that? Sanctuary Stone. Oh, I just got invaded. Okay. Figures, just when I'm about to rest and turn off my Tantra, time to get invaded. I'm stuck up here, I can't go down. Varigor. We've been invaded by Varigor. I think they usually spawn over there. Possibly. Or maybe they're up there somewhere. They can spawn in. They can spawn up there and they'll have to use the finger to get down. They must have spawned up there. Unless they're like over here somewhere and they're AFK. But I don't want to tackle with the bear, especially right now. Whoa, what the heck? It's like a slide. I don't see them. Unless they're using the invisibility talisman. Bit annoying. They could be just like a noob invader that doesn't know how to use the finger as well. So they could be like running around figuring out how to get down, but they don't realize they're stuck up there. We got a hunter, Lorna. Oh, what was that? Got my flasks back from what? How did I get flasks back? Did they just jump off a cliff? But it didn't say invader defeated. Hmm. Oh, come on. Where's this invader? I'm literally stuck down here. Maybe that's the whole plan. Invade here and make Zeth force quit. So let's see, he might not be. It's not aggro the bear though. It's an extra strong bear. They might have spawned over here in their AFK. Could take a look. I'd rather deal with the golems shooting arrows at me than the bear. Oh, fuck. I'm like, there's like an invisible wall here. I think it's his bow with collision. I'm fine. If he's not over here, then I'll have to force quit because it's already been long enough to where if they aren't AFK, they would use the finger to get down here. And I think I might just have to force quit. Wait, where'd that second one go? There's supposed to be another one here. That's gone. How did it die? What? It just like died. Sometimes they spawn around in these corners. A bit annoying. Yeah, I might just have to force quit. I don't think they spawn up there. I'm gonna check. Wait, is that him? No. We're back, Great Jar. I brought friends. They don't spawn back here, do they? Pretty sure they don't. We'll just be thorough though. Since I'm already here. Nope. Yeah, this invader's just AFK or they don't know how to get down here. One or the other. The fuck is that? Oh, birds. Oh, that's a bat. Oh, there he is. He knows how to use the finger. All done. He's made it. Does he want to fight the hunter? I'll point to the hunter. You fight the hunter. What is that? That's just like the starting equipment. Yeah, he's just a starter invader. I'm gonna see if I can kick him off the ledge. I don't have any explosives, unfortunately. Oh, they're gonna fight. Guess it's a duel. Oh, bleed grease. You don't usually see that. Or is it like either bleed grease or mesmer fire? Kind of hard to tell. I don't have the... I do, actually. Oh, we got invaded again, I think. That's why I stood up. I'm gonna put the telescope here. And then... Do I not have Margit's Shackle? Where's... I don't have Margit's Shackle. I need to get that. Uh-oh. Lorna's in trouble. Oh, well done. Well done, Invader. It's Ziggsy next. I'm gonna try out my Tandra's Tongue. And also... Yeah. Wait. I can't. I can turn off this, right? Wait, how come I can't turn this off? Cancel summon requests. I feel like Verigor is gonna win again. Maybe. Probably. Wow. Well done. Yeah, I need to try my Tandra's Tongue after this. I need to get some work done. Very defensive. Well fought. Probably the bleed buildup is... The bleed buildup is very, very scary. I'll give them that. How do I turn off my multiplayer? Okay, let's turn this off. Is enough gaming for now? I need to get some work done. Wait, let's just... Okay. Tandra's Tongue is fine. Let's go back to the Grace. We'll AFK there. Yeah, I need something for poise monsters. That's the only thing I don't really have an answer for. Besides Ansper Raper, which is kind of lame. And this is like unupgraded too. It doesn't have an ash on it. Yeah, I either need something really fast, like faster than the Gunskin Peeler, or I can rely on Pulley Crossbow. Maybe like a Rapier. S-Stock maybe. Or something that deals enough poise damage in one hit to stagger them. So maybe like another ultra weapon. But it has to do like 130 poise damage in one hit or something. I forget how much. We'll AFK in the elevator just because there's rain. I don't want to get rusty. I don't want to get rusty. You'll be able to merge some of these together. Wait, is this asymmetrical? Which one's asymmetrical, I wonder? Okay, that one is. Yeah, I guess these are the best talismans I have so far. I don't really have any heavier armor to wear, except for this helmet. I have to run all the way back and then up. I want to go here. Third Church of Marika. That's where we're going next. And then we'll take the Sending Gate and then get Bestial Vitality. I'm gonna sit over here by the Grace instead. I'm gonna go level up a bit. 50 points in Faith. Or Vigor, I guess. Or should I get 4 points in Strength so I can one-hand the crossbow, which could be really good for PvP purposes. Use more Vigor, I guess. What's the upgrade level here? +5. Should be good. Let's start detailing. I have a few plates here, I can start detailing them. I want to get rid of this bit here. I'll hide this for now. I don't know why this close hole script, it uses the use like a worse version. Is there like a preference for mesh close holes? Large tries. 3 is default. Oh. Huh. Default equals small tries. Small tries. Why can't you just like choose like circular? There's gotta be a way to do that. Maybe not. Who knows? Who knows? Like this too. These are just like the temporary borders. Oh shit. We don't need these either. I'm gonna hand sculpt this detail in. This needs edges. Let's freeze subdiv and see if we can just pull them out without having to redo the entire plate. Let's go save it. Maybe make some more tea. Okay, I'm back. Let's just make a new plate and then project the details. I don't really trust ZBrush 2. Well, we can try. Freeze subdiv, extrude. Wait. Do something like that. Yeah, I don't know if ZBrush is gonna like this. I feel like it might crash ZBrush if I do this, but we'll try. We'll try. Oh, it kind of worked. Got some messy shit there, but yeah, a bit faster than making a new play, I guess. Got some spiky shit. Where else? Is that it? Just those 3 areas? Oh, there's one here. Good enough. Wait, these are also... Okay, that's interesting. Didn't realize since we're connected. That's fine. Oh. Hopefully you feel better by then. Streaming no. How about over the weekend? Tomorrow night? Oh. Fuck, I got something in my eye. Surprised I haven't been summoned as a blue this entire time. Been like what, several hours now? 2 hours? Not a single summon. Oh, you know what would be really good versus poise monsters? Martial arts, probably. We get some, like a bleed infused dry leaf arts. I think that would work pretty well. I'm going to go to the DLC fairly early anyway. Wait, what am I doing? RGB? Or maybe hook claws. Hook claws would be pretty good too. Hook claws with the Raven Mount ability, Ash of War, or Blood Flame Blade claws. Basically anything really fast and really punishing. Endure on fists, maybe. Trying out with martial arts because the only way they weigh 1 pound. They weigh 1 Miyazaki's. Plus, I can use martial arts to go through caves with miners a lot easier. Anything that's vulnerable to strike damage, martial arts will take care of. I don't have an answer to that either. Sorry if it looks like the camera's shaking. Chicho's digging the desk. Hey Clements here, how's it going? Her favorite streamer? No way. Somehow I don't believe you. Because Miguel's my favorite streamer. Got the long hair mixed up. Yeah, that's what I thought you'd say. Exactly. Oh, I got summoned as a hunter. That's interesting. What a new mechanic. I've never thought this would happen. Deathbird. They're killing a deathbird. Oh, looks like they killed it. Good job. I'm not needed anymore. Oh, I got the money from killing the deathbird. That's sick. Free 1,650. I'll take some free runes. For something I didn't do. I still remember when Zakari was like, wow, you really got through. You really made this this race a lot faster than the last ones. Pretty cool how you finished this one up so fast. Yeah, we still have a little ways to go. Especially with this new detail that I'm adding on. There you go, Stretch. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Anything to listen to? Gotta listen to some news because no one's talking. Dead chat is dead.
Gamers, well, it happened. The
I'm a
Nintendo
gamer.
Switch 2 Direct aired yesterday, and if you were watching it, you'd no doubt be feeling pretty bad for the poor Enter the Gungeon 2 developer, since the stream totally bugged out when he was showing off his game, and it only got fixed after his presentation slot was over. Very sad times, so be sure to check out the trailer for that one. It does look great. I'll leave a link to it below the like button. But outside of that, it was a pretty spectacular showcase for Nintendo, and at this point, you're no doubt expecting that we do a deep dive on it here in this episode. But the truth is, we're not going to do that, because I'm actually planning to do a dedicated video on that at some point in the future. I'm traveling now, which is why that video is a little delayed, so I do appreciate your patience, but let's be real, most of the news I give you is a week old anyway. So if I were to cover it in a timely fashion, you'd no doubt be a little weirded out by that. So, we're not going to cover the Switch 2 Direct just yet, but did you know that there was actually another Nintendo Direct that happened last week? It's true, Nintendo busted out the surprise, hey, by the way, we're doing another Direct and it's dropping tomorrow thing, with the clarification that this one would only be focused on stuff for the original Switch, though we do expect that more than a few things shown here would make their way to the Switch 2 as well. You don't know what I mean? Alright, well let's lead with this one. They announced virtual game cards, which is the most Nintendo-ass Nintendo way for the company to solve the problem of playing the digital games on more than one console. This is a new optional method of digital game management that turns everything into virtual cartridges, which you then seemingly have to manually load or eject onto the console to play, though it seems like you can thankfully load multiple at a time. Seems like a really cumbersome process, but the upside is this. You can loan a digital game to someone else where it will become fully playable for them and unplayable for you for a maximum period of 14 days. This is slightly more convenient in that you'll only need to be connected to the internet or a local network at the time of the trade, and the second console doesn't have to keep verifying that it's allowed to play the game every time you want to boot it up, like you have to do now if you're juggling accounts. But the catch is, this only works on consoles registered with your Nintendo family group, so that's a bit of a barrier to you being able to pass around virtual cartridges with your friend, unless you only have like 3 friends, in which case, you're a family now. Congratulations. Man, this all sounds so complicated, it really makes me long for those simpler PS4 days. Thanks.
PlayStation.
That wasn't even the most out of left field thing Nintendo announced at the Direct. That honor goes to Nintendo Today! Exclamation mark. And please respect the exclamation mark anytime you write or speak the name Nintendo Today. So what the hell is this thing? Well, remember how Nintendo was like, no, we're not going to be on Spotify or Apple Music or Tidal. We're going to make our own music app and it's only going to have Nintendo songs on it. Well, now they've said, nah, forget all those calendar apps. We're going to make our own calendar app with Blackjack and Hook It. No, I'm joking. They're going to make it with just Nintendo dates and events on it. So yeah, it's a calendar app, but what it really is a direct marketing tool for Nintendo, so it can beam news and videos about its games and projects directly to you, deliver announcements and advertising spiels about its titles, with a few nice little things like comics and shorts in there too. They've already dropped a big piece of info on this one. The release date for the live-action Zelda film, which is 26th of March 2027. Quite a long ways away. And after that, people were going nuts about them posting a video zooming in on the much hyped new button on the Switch, the C button. We obviously learned much more about that at the Switch 2 Direct, and we'll talk about that real soon. Anyway, let's talk about some goddamn games. Now, this Direct was either mid or the greatest Direct in the history of Nintendo Directs, depending on who you ask and how much you like Japanese games and the vibes of the PS Vita and 3DS. The biggest thing was honestly Nintendo giving us a deeper look at Metroid Prime 4 Beyond as a proof of life stunt to make sure they're not leaving any unfinished business before going all in on the Switch 2 marketing. Vague 2025 release date for this one, and other than that, it sure looks like a Metroid Prime game, though the big new addition here are psychic powers for Samus, adding a new tool for solving puzzles while also adding some cool looking telekinetic combat abilities to the mix. Oh, and she has an all-red suit of armor now, just in case you ever wanted her to look even more like a Lamborghini. The next big thing was very surprising. Tamagotchi Life Living the Dream. If you have no idea what the hell this is, I don't blame you. This is a sequel to a Nintendo 3DS game that was a surreal social simulator and definitely one of Nintendo's weirder experiments. It's been 10 years since that game, so this was definitely a surprise. In fact, it was Nintendo's one last thing, which definitely sums up the vibes for this Direct. The trailer was full of robotic text-to-speech voices and weird comedic skits, and the cult audience that remembers Tamagotchi Life absolutely ate it up. Apparently on social media, the post for this one went completely wild. It was Nintendo Japan's most liked tweet ever, bigger than the Switch 2 announcement. Absolutely insane, a 2020 release date for this one. And joining Tamagotchi Life in the hey, remember this one from a decade ago category was Rhythm Heaven Groove, also for a 2026 release. This is a much-loved rhythm action game with a comedic slant, conceived by one of the developers behind WarioWare, just in case that wasn't obvious. The gap for this one was so large and the demand was so high that a handful of very promising-looking copycat games and fan projects spun up in the meantime, but now Nintendo's like, nah, King is back, baby. Japanese publishers came out swinging for this direct. Square Enix announced and Shadow dropped a remaster to their cult RPG Saga Frontier 2 for all platforms bar Xbox, but including mobile, as well as opening the show with a look at Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake, which comes out for all platforms this year. Atlus also dropped an announcement for the cult favorite Shin Megami Tensei spin-off. And yes, I know I'm using the word cult a lot, but that's really what this direct was all about. This one's called Radar Remastered: The Mystery of the Soulless Army, originally a PS2 game, coming to all platforms on June 19th. Hey, speaking of PS2 games, Nintendo gave us another look at Pokemon Legends ZA, and boy, does it not look better visually. Damn, this thing just looks terrible. Anyway, the game itself is pushing the Pokemon formula further than ever before, though now we know why it's called ZA. There's a Battle Royale style ranking system for the nighttime Pokemon Trainer Fight Club they've got going on, where you start at rank Z and you work your way right up to A. Speaking of PlayStation, it was a surprise. Two Japanese franchises that previously had a very strong association with Sony's consoles are coming to the Switch. First is Patapon 1+2 Replay, which is a remaster of the rhythm strategy game made for the PSP by Japan Studio. Rest in peace, Japan Studio. That one's coming to PC on July 11th. The other is Everybody's Golf Hot Shots, an arcade golf game that's called Hot Shots Golf in the US. I guess they're just mashing those regional titles together like Sega did with Yakuza Like a Dragon. This one's a lot of fun, perfect for the Switch, honestly makes golf somewhat playable, which is the greatest compliment I can give that sport. This one is also coming to PC in 2025. Speeding through the rest now, the devs behind Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge are making a modern retro Marvel beat-em-up game called Marvel Cosmic Invasion, coming in 2025 for all platforms. Witchbrook is a new witch-themed live simulator from Chucklefish, who also made Wargroove and initially published Stardew Valley, coming to all platforms bar PlayStation this holiday. And No Sleep for Kamari Date is the sequel to a visual novel Ed assures me is very well regarded, and the Witch
Who's that?
So that was Direct number 1.
You're talking about wanting to play that
days for coverage of Direct 2. Spoiler alert,
Pantapon
Nintendo made a
game?
Hulk game, only instead of Hulk they used
What's
Donkey Kong.
Pantapon?
It's genius. Pivoting now to a little known game you may or may not have heard of, Hogwarts Legacy.
I don't know
made a boatload of money for Warner Brothers a couple of years
what
back.
game you're
Would have
talking
made a ton
about.
of sense for them to release an expansion for, maybe so Warner Brothers could start digging themselves out of the absolutely massive hole they seem to have got themselves into. Well, the latest from Bloomberg's Jason Schreier suggests that the unannounced story expansion to Hogwarts Legacy that was in the works at Avalanche Studios and Rocksteady Games following the end of Suicide Squad has been cancelled. And so has the definitive release that was planned to go alongside it, both of which would have been small but probably worthwhile.
Ripperino.
According to Schreier, the long and the short of it is, at least in part, content being planned for the add-on stuff would have been, according to his anonymous sources, quote, not substantial enough to justify the price being considered.
Tribal
Quote.
eyeball
Damn, man,
people.
Quick question. Have you
I don't
considered
remember.
dropping the
I'm
price to
sorry.
something that better suited the content with some headroom
I'm
for
not-
profit and then sell it
I'm not
anyway?
really paying
Well, definitely a
attention
lot more going on behind the scenes at
to,
Warner Brothers. Things really aren't sounding great over there. Apparently, they're still trucking on with the Hogwarts.
I just wanted to listen to something other than music. Shilup's voice is kind of like music to my ears. Don't let him know though.
Legacy sequel, so it's likely all the content they were working on will make its way into that new entry, but that's going to be like 3 or 4 years away, and Warner Brothers needs a W now. Hey, at least that cancelled Coyote vs. Acme film got saved by someone, right? The real question we've been asking for some time now is who's going to save Ubisoft? It's clear they're not going to be doing it themselves. Assassin's Creed Shadows hit 3 million players since our last episode, and it's a clear hit, but it's not the magic bullet that's going to instantly eliminate all the baggage that they've accumulated over the past few years. Just to recap, several reports have been flying around for the past 9 months about the potential of a Tencent.
At least they
buyout
ended up with
negotiations
a
around that.
bang.
Tencent
So
wanted
that's
more
good.
control. Yves Guillemot and his brothers
It would've
didn't
been
want to let go of
depressing
their
if
baby,
Shadows
and
actually
shareholders
sucked.
were like, are you guys going to do something or what? And do something they did. Ubisoft's management have created a separate subsidiary wholly owned by Ubisoft. And into it, they've moved their major profit-generating IPs, stuff like AC, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six, as well as the major dev studios behind them. This allowed Tencent to invest $1.2 billion specifically into that newly formed entity, meaning they now have a stake in Ubisoft's profit-generating IPs and studios without assuming any of the liabilities for the other parts of Ubisoft. Ubisoft's business. So the subsidiary doesn't have a proper name yet, that's how fast Ubisoft are moving right now, but it involves those 3 aforementioned franchises as well as the studios Montreal, Quebec, Sherbrooke, Barcelona, and Sofia. Yves Guillemot said, quote, "This is a foundational step in changing Ubisoft's operating model that will enable us to be both agile and ambitious. We are crystallizing the value of our assets, strengthening our balance sheet, and creating the best conditions for these franchises' long-term growth and success," end quote. That's all well and good, but here's the truth though. This move doesn't create any more value for shareholders, except in the cash injection provided by Tencent. All this move does is divide the company into 2 portions. One focused on major franchises with big earning potential and leaner overheads.
Oh,
and the
they're
other
in like a
section saddled
lawsuit
with
about this now.
underperforming or dormant IPs,
I think.
considerable overheads, and substantial amounts of debt. The only way this older
think
part
the
of
share-
Ubisoft becomes profitable
I think the shareholders they filed a lawsuit on this new merger or this new thing.
is by either making games that sell a lot of copies or by substantially reducing overhead and or
Which is
debt.
interesting.
Given that Ubisoft has moved its most profitable IPs to this new entity, I don't think
Let's
they
go
have
move this up
particularly grand
here.
ambitions for what was left behind. It's highly likely we can expect further restructuring at the parts of Ubisoft that didn't get this big 10-cent cash
Layoffs.
injection, meaning even more cancelled games, closed studios, and layoffs. Plenty more
Whoever's
probably
not
story
working
in
on
recent
the
months
big
to come, I fear.
IPs, they're getting
Pivoting
laid
now
off.
to GTA 6 release date news, which is basically an entire subgenre of news at this point. Bloomberg's David Weston pressed Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick on the lack of a specific release date for GTA 6, so close to when it's supposed to be releasing. Last week we covered a bit of reporting that suggests that the uncertainty is making publishers really nervous. Retailers probably want to know so they can clear out their stock rooms, and honestly Take-Two shareholders are anxious since they'd like to know exactly when they can expect the share price line to go up. It's definitely unlike any other AAA games marketing strategy, but GTA is unlike any other game, and Take-Two knows this very well. The reasoning, according to Zelnick, boils down to this: they want to build as much anticipation and excitement as possible. He said, quote, "The anticipation for the title may be the greatest anticipation I've ever seen for an entertainment property, and I've been around the block a few times, and I've
Nah,
done every
Half-Life 3
entertainment
has
business
it
there
beat
is. We want
still.
to maintain the anticipation and the excitement. We do have competitors who all describe their release schedules for years in advance, and we found that the better thing to do is to provide marketing materials relatively close to the release window in order to create that excitement on the one hand and balance the excitement with unmet anticipation. We don't always get it exactly right, but that's what we're trying to do," end quote. And to be honest, I kind of get what he's saying. Nintendo also does this sometimes, where they'll have a basically finished game, sit on it for a while, wait until 3 to 4 months ahead of its launch to announce it, go super hard on a concentrated marketing push, and there's no real lull where everyone turns into that John Travolta Pulp Fiction meme where he's looking around wondering where the fuck that game went. Having said that, I fully recognize that Metroid Prime 4 disappeared for like 80 years before it resurfaced, so Nintendo doesn't always get it right either. Still, sometimes some ambiguity and mystery is a good thing, like when a piece of media ends and leaves you with more questions than answers, perhaps makes you consider a greater narrative issue or moral dilemma. It's just one of those things that can really mark a piece of work as art. Good art makes you think. Now someone please tell that to The Last of Us director Neil Druckmann, because you know what he told IGN in a recent interview? Quote, "Joel was right," end quote. He's of course referring to the ending of The Last of Us Part 1, where Joel, and honestly I don't even know if I should spoil this at this point because, you know, it's been a long time now, but needless to say, Joel does something he probably shouldn't have done for extremely debatable reasons at the expense of a much greater and exceptionally worthy cause that could have been achieved, but also maybe not, and it ends up causing a lot of problems for everyone in the world, regardless of how you look at it. In an interview with IGN, they posed this question to the cast and crew of The Last of Us HBO series, and where the cast was all like, "It's complicated," and showrunner Craig Mazin was all like, "I'd probably have done what he did, but I'd like to think I wouldn't." Neil Druckmann, one of the key creators behind this world, the game and the show, is like, "Nah man, Joel was right." Quote, "If I were in Joel's position, I hoped I would be able to do what he did to save my daughter," end quote. Personally, I'm always really bummed out when creatives give answers to the questions they pose to their audiences. The question is infinitely more interesting than the answer, and for the creator to impose an answer on the scenario really taints the way we engage with that question in the future. We need to contend with people being like, "Well, the games director thought Joel was right, so obviously he was." And it's like, well, yeah, I guess. That really shouldn't be something we have to think about when exploring these questions. Look, I know it's a small thing, but I really do think that ending was legitimately a watershed moment in video game history, and I think it loses just a little bit of its magic when one of the architects of that ending steers us towards a conclusion about it rather than letting us arrive there ourselves. A quick lightning round to finish off. Sticking with stuff Druckmann said in his interviews, he told IGN last week that Naughty Dog's next game, Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet, is playable, and it's, quote, "really good," end quote. and what we've seen is just the very, very tip of the iceberg. And I mean, yeah, clearly that trailer was like less than 5 minutes. It had no gameplay basically, so obviously we haven't seen much. Elsewhere, Bloomberg's Jason Schreier is reporting that the game probably won't be out next year, let alone this year, so do look forward to a 2027 release date for the first Naughty Dog game of this console generation. Thank Jim Ryan's live service push for that one. Asia Today is reporting that 4 of Korea's biggest game companies, NCSoft, Nexon, Netmarble, and Krafton, are actively pitching to Blizzard for the rights to use the long-dormant StarCraft license for a new game that plays to each company's strengths. NCSoft is known for Guild Wars, so it might be an MMO. Netmarble is a mobile gaming company, so I guess they're pitching that, though please don't be that. This stuff happens all the time, and winning a pitch doesn't mean a game will make it to market, but still, it's been a long time between drinks, Blizzard. People like StarCraft. I mean, look at the whole Space Marine 2 thing. The opportunity's there. Just take it. It seems like layoffs are still happening at Embracer Group. Both Eidos Montreal and Crystal Dynamics, 2 studios that were picked up by Embracer when Square Enix didn't want to invest in the West anymore, announced layoffs last week. 17 at Crystal and up to 75 will be affected at Eidos, and that's after 97 workers at Eidos were laid off last year. It sounds like a project ended there and they didn't have space to keep those people on. No clear cause for the cuts at Crystal yet, but hopefully those affected land on their feet quickly. Those studios have made some absolute bangers and they deserve to thrive once more. That live-action Zelda film we mentioned is reportedly being planned as a trilogy, with Sony and Nintendo locking in their cast for 3 films over 6 years. Again, it's not set in stone, but that is a vote of confidence from them. Still not sold on this whole live-action idea though. Monster Hunter Wilds is an absurdly big hit. Capcom is reporting 10 million units sold in its first month alone. That is an all-time first month sales record for the company, and it's also the first Monster Hunter game to simultaneously multi-platform release on both PC and console. Certainly don't count PCs out, man. Speaking of which, Kojima tweeted that Death Stranding has hit 20 million lifetime players, and speaking of multi-platform releases, analyst Daniel Ahmad noted that when Death Stranding launched as a PS4 exclusive, it sold less than 5 million copies. Once it hit PC, Xbox, and hell, Mac, it started to really take off. Hitting the PS Plus catalog probably helped it a bunch too. And finally, Adamfall seems to have done really well for itself. Reviews were a bit average for this one, but everyone seemed to have some positive things to say about it nonetheless. They've just clocked in 1.5 million players over the opening weekend, thanks in no small part to being available day 1 on Game Pass. So what got announced or delayed this week? Well, we were going to throw this one aside because it sounded like an April Fool's joke, but a closer look told us that no, this is an old April Fool's joke made real. The developers of Power World are making a high school dating simulator aptly called Power World More Than Just Pals, which, to be honest, is a great name. It's naturally a visual novel-style thing where you can befriend humans and pals alike, take things to the next level if you dare, and apparently you can, quote, dismantle and eat them, unquote. Alright, you have my attention, and Hannibal Lecter's too, I guess. This one's quite a concept too. It's called Quite a Ride, and it was announced last week by a developer called Goodwin Games, supposedly based in Kazakhstan. They released a game last year called Self-Loss, which has a handful of positive reviews on Steam. This one is very different though. Basically, like, take Pacific Drive, one of my favorite games of last year, put it on a bicycle, and pretend you're in an episode of Stranger Things. Done. Sold. Sign me up. This is supposed to be a survival horror game, obviously inspired by the same Stephen King short story that the Silent Hill folks read. Bikes are life, and so is your phone apparently, which you can charge by riding your bike. First impressions are good, looking forward to hearing more. No date for this one yet, but it is slated for PC at the moment. Sticking with horror for a little longer, because every other game is a horror game these days, Frogwares has announced the remaster of The Sinking City 1 for all platforms bar Switch. This one was caught in a bit of a rights dispute a little while ago, but the Ukrainian developer clearly had a lot of love for it, because now that that's resolved, they want to port the whole thing to Unreal Engine 5. No release date for this one yet, however, this is a Lovecraftian horror adventure series, and its sequel, The Sinking City 2, is just about to wrap up its Kickstarter campaign, and they've blown well past the asking amount for this one by 400% at the time of writing, with just a couple of days to go. Nice win for those folks after so much hardship. Something a little more grimdark now, Good Shepherd announced a release date for Moroi, which is a top-down action RPG set in a twisted, dark fairytale world inspired by Romanian folklore. Lots of emphasis on the theming here with grotesque and bizarre enemies. It's coming to PC on April 30th. Here's a game we low-key never expected to actually come out. Mind's Eye is the new narrative action game from Leslie Benzies, former president of Rockstar North and a key creative on the Grand Theft Auto series from GTA 3 all the way up to 5. He left Rockstar in 2016 to form his new studio called Build a Rocket Boy, and it feels like they've been talking vaguely about this one for quite some time. It's supposedly just one part of the way bigger metaverse project they're doing called Everywhere. Man, remember when everyone was talking about the goddamn metaverse? I feel like we're past that now, thankfully. Anyway, IO Interactive, the folks behind Hitman, are now publishing this one, and it comes out on June 10th for all platforms bar Switch. Looks nice, but the third-person shooter parts do look a little familiar based on the trailers right now, so we'll have to see how this one lands at release. Speaking of GTA, have you been recently playing through GTA and thought, man, I wish I was playing the original top-down GTA games, and it would be even better if I could play them as a cop in the 1980s? Well, you're in luck. Take a look at The Precinct, which has definitely given off those vibes. You play a rookie cop working their way up the ladder in a gang-infested city, getting in top-down shootouts, car chases, helicopter chases even, all while solving the murder of your father, because why not? After being delayed out of last year, The Precinct got a release date for May 14th for all platforms bar Switch. Let's head over to our esoteric Japanese game corner for a moment, where there were two announcements that made their respective niche audiences very happy. The first one is Super Robot Wars Y from Bandai Namco. This is the latest entry in a series that's been going for almost 35 years at this point, but has rarely made itself available in the West. This one's getting a worldwide release though, because there are more weebs than ever before, and it'll arrive sometime in 2025 for all platforms bar Xbox. Slightly more niche now is The Legend of Heroes Trials Beyond the Horizon. This is the cult JRPG series from Nihon Falcom, who have a very dedicated fan base, but the story essentially stretches out over multiple 80-hour games. Like, imagine if all the Final Fantasy games were actually connected and you have some idea of the ambitious insanity of this series. Big in Japan, people are really attached to these characters, and for a while was unsure whether these modern games would get English translations. Well, they did, and they started rolling out last year, and they will continue with this new one. So for everyone out there cheering, I'm really happy for you. PC, Switch, PS5, and PS4 sometime in fall of 2025 for this one. Completely unafraid of going up against GTA 6, though I expect they're targeting a slightly different market segment. Quick shout out to Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, which is getting an iOS and Android release on April 14th. Everyone who hasn't played this, please do so. It's amazing. And finally, GeoGuessr. You know the game where you get a street view picture and you try to pinpoint where on earth it is? Like the insane Rainbolt guy on TikTok? It's coming to Steam, which means it's a real game now. It's dropping in April, exclusive to PC. Looking forward to watching Northern Lion having a crack at this one. Okay, so what came out last week? Well, let's start with Atomfall, the new one from Sniper Elite developer Rebellion, who possibly decided that they want to be known for more than just ambitious X-ray shots of shooting people in the nuts. Though, to be fair, that's an excellent legacy if you ask me. Atomfall is very different, a tense survival shooter with a non-linear narrative structure, set in a very, very British version of the post-apocalypse. Over on OpenCritic, it's earned a strong average review score of 75, with many of them landing somewhere between 6s and 7s. But it's worth noting that almost all of those reviews have a pretty positive slant, which shows Rebellion have got something interesting going on here. Here's Eurogamer, who gave it 3 out of 5 stars, saying, quote, "It's rare I swing so wildly on a game as I did with Atomfall. From thinking it's a borderline dud to being keen to talk to other players about what they did and dive back into it to see more, I'm now firmly in the you should play this camp. Atomfall is largely competent in a lot of areas rather than being unique or genre leading, but I really enjoyed the world that Rebellion created, the duplicitous main characters, and the post-war sci-fi story," end quote. Austin also reviewed this one for the channel, link below the like button, and he was also in two minds about it, ultimately landing on the positive side of the fence by saying this.
So when I step back and think about the experience as a whole, yeah, I can say that I really did enjoy my time with Atomfall. It gets a thumbs up from me. It has a lot of great qualities worth experiencing for yourself. Things that even the AAA industry could take notes on. It's the sort of game I imagine people will look back at in a few years' time, going, hey, remember that game with that sick thing where it didn't have a main quest line? You just kind of had to figure out your own way to the end? We probably won't remember much else, but that fascinating structure and the amount of agency it affords you does give this game a timeless quality. More than anything, if you're looking for a game that'll transport you back to a time where game design was a little more simple but no less experimental, Atomfall will take you there.
Moving on to something very
Hey,
different.
Sakai,
First
how's it
Berserker
going?
Kazan also came out last week. This is a new Souls-like based on the Dungeon and Fighter series of games.
New
The good news is that
Souls-like.
You don't need to know anything about DNF to get into this one because it's kind of its own thing and it's apparently pretty good. It's landed at a strong.
Oh, it's
OpenCritic
this
with
Souls
several
like that you
publications
can't
pointing out that
customize your
there's several
character.
flaws, but it has the juice where it counts in the combat system,
So
in
sad.
the boss fights, and in its brutal difficulty level, which I guess can be a pro or a con depending on how much of a sicko you are for these sorts of games. Here's GameSpot, who gave it 8 out of 10, saying, quote, "Despite a forgettable story and some constricted level design, First Berserker Kazan's excellent combat is more than enough to cover for these missteps. It's challenging, engaging, and consistently satisfying, complemented by a cavalcade of dynamic enemies and a versatile progression system that extends beyond the typical XP-based approach. It can feel derivative at times, yet the First Berserker's confluence of ideas and influences makes for a thrilling Souls-like that stands out in what has become an increasingly crowded genre," end quote. Speaking of crowded, if you put all the people who wish-listed Inzoi on Steam together, you'd probably fill at least a few dozen football stadiums. This one finally came out into early access last week, and despite some initial
Oh my
backlash
God.
against the hidden Denuvo anti-cheat requirement, which Crafted swiftly removed, and the discovery that you can run over children with cars, another issue I'm sure they're going to patch pretty quickly, things have been going very well indeed for these hyper-real pretend people. The Sims Rival is currently sitting at very positive on Steam, 83% very positive in fact, and that's after 11,000 people have weighed in. Worth noting that only about 40% of them are from English-speaking countries. Here are a few choice user reviews. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this username, but they've got over 96 hours in this thing already. Here's what they had to say, quote, "I'm a 34-year-old man and I've been with EA since The Sims, and back then this is what we thought the game would eventually turn out to be. For years and years, we have begged EA for a game like this, and they never listened. This game is amazing. It's only the early access. EA has been greedy for far too long, and now
It's a bit boring these days. Nothing interesting is happening.
Okay. Here's another banger from Rin, who has
Then be
56
that
hours
thing.
in this, saying, quote, "I haven't
Be the
slept yet.
interesting
I'm with
one."
6 boyfriends, 1 engagement, and a shrine of Nicolas Cage pics on my wall. My Duolingo plush is staring at me from the corner of my Inzoi.
You guys want to see Chocho and Woo as humans? How do I open this with fucking like, man, I hate this app. Oh well, whatever. It's not important.
Room, 10 out of 10, best sim type game ever, end quote. And to even things out, here's Dake Twentry, who has 20 hours in the game but opted for a not recommend at this stage, and said a lot of things that reflected some of the earlier media previews of the early access build. Quote, "So far, it's a great foundation for a true sim successor, but there are fundamental features missing from the game which I feel contribute to the game's bare bones feeling, specifically the Inzoi interactions with one another and everything. But seeing as how Inzoi devs listen to the fanbase and remove Denuvo, I've no doubt they're willing to listen to the players and add more features that bring Zoids to life," end quote. And finally, we'll give some love to Rosewater, the Old West point-and-click adventure game that released last week, starring Roger Clark and a whole host of other great voice actors. This one has a very positive average on Steam as well, 96% positive, but that's only with 61 reviews. Here's a choice Steam user review though. This one's from George Broussard, the founder of Apogee Software, which later became 3D Realms, and the creator of Duke Nukem. Turns out he's a big old school adventure game fan, and he isn't afraid to boost the ones he likes. He left a very long review, but here's the gist. Quote, "I finished the game, 14 hours, 5 out of 5 stars. It was a terrific journey. The ending was very well done, suitably epic, and you can just sit back and bask in it as you ease out of the story. The game is a proper epic journey and something you can really reflect back on once it's over. This game is a complete package and very satisfying to play," end quote. A sterling endorsement from a legendary game maker, not too shabby. Alright, so what's coming out this week? Well, PlayStation are releasing The Last of Us Part 2 remastered on PC this week on April 3rd, just a couple of weeks ahead of the Season 2 premiere of the HBO show. This port is being handled by Nixxes and Iron Galaxy, but I think we've learned this past year that you can't be too sure how these ports are going to go at launch, no matter which studio is behind it, so we'll reserve judgment on that until it launches next week. This one has optional PSN account linking, as Sony announced a little while back, but by handing over data, you get a sweet jacket for Ellie from Naughty Dog's next game, Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet. Immersion? Never heard of it. Moving along, we had a couple of niche Japanese games in the announcements, and here's a couple more coming out this week. The first one is the first new game in Namco's Katamari Damacy series in like 8 years. There's one big catch. It's exclusive to the Apple Arcade subscription service, which means it's locked to iPhone and iPad. But worth noting, you can also play it with a controller on those devices. It's also got Mac and Apple TV versions for bigger screens. Ed's had the chance to play this one, and he says that for all intents and purposes, this is exactly where you expect a new Katamari game to be. Same old rolling gameplay on a bunch of good new stages. He says there's a little less personality in the overall game wrapper, as it just wants to get you straight into the levels, but there's an amusing thematic layer where the king is live streaming your stage attempts while chat rages on the side. Not bad. Cool that Apple seem to be funding this one, but hopefully it does break free in a year or two so everyone else can enjoy it on other platforms. The next niche one is Tetris the Grandmaster 4 Absolute Eye, which is a notorious arcade offshoot of a Tetris game made by former Capcom fighting game developers at Arika. The main idea here is that the pieces drop so fast by default that you don't even see them falling. Definitely one for the real Tetris sickos. It comes out on April 4th for PC. Heading into next week, we've got Xbox's next big release. Okay, so not super big, but it is a very good looking one. South of Midnight comes out on Tuesday, April 8th for PC and Xbox Series consoles, with an Xbox Game Pass release too, naturally. It's an action-adventure game set in a gothic rendition of the Deep South that might not have peak combat chops, but the very imaginative world and characters are a huge hook regardless. Really found a lot to like about this one when I played the preview build of it a little while ago. Looking forward to seeing how the rest of the package turns out. Here's another game coming out next week set in America's South but made by a bunch of Kiwis in New Zealand. Into the Dead in Our Darkest Days is a side-scrolling zombie survival game set in 1980s Texas with a big focus on shelter and survivor management alongside killing zombies. Looks promising, though it is releasing into early access, so set your expectations accordingly. April 9th for this one, PC only. Also on April 9th, we've got Commandos Origins, a kind of reboot of the real-time stealth tactics game that started back in the 90s. This genre has been having a nice little revival lately, so it's nice to see the older ones getting a look in. Set in World War II, squad-based stealth and sabotage gameplay. Looks nice. PC, PS5 and Xbox Series consoles for this one, and it's coming to Game Pass as well. Final shout-out for this week is something very different. Magic: The Gathering. Not a video game, mind you, just the actual card game. I've been checking this out a little lately after spending an entire lifetime not playing Magic, a rarity for nerds like myself. But the Foundations collection they released last year has proved to be a really good entry point for people such as myself, and so far I'm having a good time with it. Since I'm sure there are more than a few of you out there who have played or are playing Magic, I thought it might be nice to shout out their major releases from time to time. Like this week they're releasing a new expansion called Tarkia Dragonstorm, which the community is quite excited about because it's an actual honest-to-goodness in-universe Magic release, as opposed to something like a Fortnite Magic: The Gathering crossover, which is an actual real thing that Magic did, mind you. It's funny learning about this stuff as you step into the hobby. Anyway, Tarkia launches this coming weekend at your local game store and online retailers. I personally am excited about it. I just wish I had more people to play with, since everyone my age is all like, hey, let's go play golf. And I'm like, no, fuck that shit. Let's sit in a dark room with 20-year-old nerds wearing Iron Maiden t-shirts playing Magic: Gathering. Needless to say, my friends always have an excuse to say no to that invitation. All right, time to brighten this show back up, so put this on your radar. Like we said last week, a bunch of great indies are coming up this month that we want to make sure are on your wish list. And this one is called Tempopo, and it comes from our backyard here in Australia. This is a new rhythmic real-time puzzle game from Witchbeam, with the tiny studio behind the multi-award winning Unpacking from a few years back, and the excellent bullet hell game Assault Android Cactus from even further back. These folks do not like to commit to a genre, and Tempopo is a bit like a modern interpretation of Lemmings with a musical hook that brings a fast-paced element of choreography and timing to the act of guiding those little pink blob things to their destination by throwing down obstacles and abilities. Looks cute as hell, especially with the little girl in the bottom corner conducting and reacting to everything you do, but it can get pretty challenging as well, apparently. And fun fact, the composer behind this delightfully joyous music was the award-winning audio director behind Alien Isolation. Talk about range, right? This one's out on PC, Switch, and Xbox on April 18th. Sort of free stuff time now, and it's a new month, so expect a full refresh of the subscription services and giveaway offerings. We'll kick things off as always with Epic Games, who right now are doing the whole mystery game thing. They surprised us last week with Cat Quest, a game series which is now 3 games strong and apparently meant to be pretty good. Also available was Neko Ghost Jump, yes, another cat-themed game, though this one's a puzzle platformer with 2 and 3D elements. Over on PS Plus, the Essentials lineup, which every subscriber can claim, that has the excellent RoboCop Rogue City, which I highly recommend you all play. A lot of neat surprises in that one. That's also joined by the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is the asymmetrical multiplayer horror game, one of many, I know. And finally, they've also got Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory, which I know absolutely nothing about, but if you're a Digimon fan, then congrats, if it's good. Or my commiserations if it sucks. Alright, almost time to get out of here, but what better way to get some good feels this week than by looking at some of those April Fool's pranks that the brands managed to get out there this year. A lot of lame ones floating around, I gotta tell you, but there were some good ones that we liked. Let's start with this one.
We're hiring everyone back. Just kidding.
Excited for a moment. Dave the Diver Remastered, a trailer for a remake of Dave the Diver with a completely overhauled visual engine and 3D graphics. Honestly, I'd play this, but sadly, this was a fake. For now, at least, you never know. Minecraft went for the strategy of riffing way too long on a single silly idea, and that was to flip the name to Craft Mine and pretend to introduce an update where you can craft mines? Okay, that's cute, I guess, that's fine. Every year it seems like someone goes for the whole fake dating sim thing. We talked earlier in the show about the Power World version from last year that's now become a reality. This year it was PUBG's turn to try it out on us with a playable game called Winner Winner Romantic Dinner where you date the guns. Okay, I expect that's going to be very successful in the United States. Case and accessories manufacturer Deep Brand had one that gave us a particularly good chuckle. They announced their Touch Grass range, a bunch of decals and cases that basically put a very small patch of grass on your device. So when you're slagging people off on voice chat or Reddit and someone tells you to go touch grass, you can tell them you're doing exactly that at that very moment. This is one they followed through on too, so you can actually order these right now. Apparently the synthetic grass will shed though, so buyer beware. And finally, ending on one that might become a reality, but also maybe not, Hoyoverse did a thing with Zenless Zone Zero where they teased a new green, clearly Xbox-themed sidekick character, and alongside it they had an announcement that X version launches on February 30th, 2222. A ton of people took this as a cruel joke that was trying to say, LeMayo, that shit ain't ever coming to Xbox, because why would it? But there was a very accurate guide button on this thing's belly, and the Xbox Twitter account responded to it saying, quote, "We dare you to do it," end quote. So, you know, watch this space. Alright nerds, that's the show for the week. I'm currently in New York City, deliberately walking across the street when I'm not supposed to, so I can yell, "Hey, I'm walking here!" So far, I haven't been arrested or assaulted, but there's still time.
Guess we'll go kill Radahn now. Or at least try to get there. We'll get back to sculpting once we're out of here. Ah, fucker. Sheep. Sheep is in the way. You want to be a McDonald's cashier? I mean, that basically pays them. It's more or less same amount, depending on where you live. Could be interesting. You'll meet a lot of people. Let's go get the recipes before I leave this place. Did I grab this already? I haven't. How about this? Have I haven't gotten this first. Oh yeah, I was PvPing around here. Oh, fuck. Jesus Christ, what the fuck? Stealth crab fought from out of nowhere, Jesus. That actually jump scared me. It's just a lame joke. You never know.
A customer.
I think the soap recipe is here. Might as well grab some stone sword keys. I'm out. Grab this too, sure.
Goodbye. So,
You want the AC? Okay. There's another recipe over here I can go pick up. Armor's Cookbook 6. Been invaded by G-Wiz. What is this anyway? Silver Fireflies. I always thought there was gonna be something scary here, but there isn't. It's just dark. Gotta wait for the invader now. There he is. Yeah, that's a stagger machine. Okay. Alright, we're just gonna have to... Whoops. I'll let the 100 deal with him. Maybe. Looks like they know what they're doing there, so maybe... Whoa, okay, maybe not. We got a backstab. I kind of want to just keep going. I don't want to spend too long here. So that's why I'm ganging up. Oh fuck. It's hard. It's hard. 2v1's hard. Too well. But I want to progress. I don't want to spend all day down here. I want to get back up to the overworld. We'll get to nah, I should. Oh shit, I forgot. Hunter's tongue is still on. Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off. I'm gonna turn off Hunter's charm as well. Otherwise, I'll never get out of here. But yeah, I won't be able to go outside if I'm invaded. Unfortunately. I think that's how it is, right? Maybe I can go outside. We'll see. Pretty sure I'm stuck down here though. Yeah, I'm stuck down here. We'll go down. Take care of the invader. Ugh, what a waste of time. Homeless Jones. It's me, Les Jones. Ah, I missed. Wait, what the fuck? He just walked right over the hole. Did I see that right? Hello. Hello there. Oh my god. Okay. Point down. Okay. Okay. We can finally get out of here. Those are both turned off. Hmm. Actually, you know, I think I'll call it here. Been around 3 hours, 30 minutes. I'm trying to stream more tomorrow. Take care, guys. Still got a lot to do. Yeah, getting there. Let's try and get some more done off stream. Bye bye, take care. See ya, Rusty. See ya, Zakaria. See ya, Clement. See ya. See ya, Rashid, if you're still around. Oh shit. I'll go right after this. Golem. 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 Oh, there he is. I see him. We follow the invader. What is he using? Is that dual wielding a seal? Is that a caster? Caster build maybe? What is that weapon? Curved serpent, what's it called? Bloodhound's Fang plus seal. Okay, so Faith Dex. Maybe. Or Faith String. Backstab. Cheeky backstab. What's he gonna do? What kind of spell? Oh, the bleed. What? Doesn't want to fight? The bleed buildup is massive. So is mine. Jeez, I think mine has more bleed buildup. Oh shit. Okay, we're doing a flask duel. Always more range than I think there would be on that sword. Well fought. Alright, take care guys. I'm going. I might do some more off stream. To be honest, like, streaming with a webcam is more exhausting for some reason. I like have to pay attention to my face, and that's like annoying for me. And also like I kind of want to just like get up and stretch a bit. Maybe make some more tea or whatever. But yeah, it's basically just more of this detailing. Like you guys have already seen what I'm doing here. Yeah, take care. Bye bye. Still got like all these little white plates with the gold paint on them. I'm gonna separate them out like we did here with the breasts and the face. Alright, see you guys. Take care. Oh my god, I almost fucking fell down there. Oh no, I have to go back up. Alright, take care. Bye bye.